I've been waiting all day to talk to Dinesh D'Souza about this. Dinesh D'Souza have been probably one of the only people besides me and a few others that have been standing on truth. And what he said about Tucker Carlson is something I think the world needs to hear. So check out this interview.
With regard to Tucker, the simple question is, are his positions, yes or no, clearly anti-Semitic?
I cannot believe the gall of some of these people. I cannot believe the stances that even people on our side are taking. What's your thoughts on this? I mean, obviously, Tucker Carlson is losing his mind, interviewing Nick Fuentes, and people are actually giving credence to that stuff. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Also, make sure that you subscribe to my new channel. It is called The Officer Tatum Show Podcast. It's where we do all of our live streams. So if you haven't seen the live streams lately, it's because it's on that channel. Go and check it out today. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Let me get to Dinesh D'Souza's clip real quick. I want to play this and I'm going to bring Dinesh in to talk about it because one of the only other sane people online right now is Dinesh D'Souza. And you cannot argue his intelligence. You cannot argue his consistency. And that's why I want to talk to him about this topic real quick. But let's go to the clip first. This is Dinesh D'Souza on Tucker Carlson and whether or not he's an anti-Semite or not with simple questions. Roll the clip.
With regard to Tucker, the simple question is, are his positions, yes or no, clearly anti-Semitic? And so I'm going to give you a test right now looking at some of these positions, and you can decide whether you think they're anti-Semitic, yes or no. I'll tell you what I think. Christian Zionism is a heresy that makes people into supporters of Israel, makes Christians into supporters of Israel, and those who believe this heresy are more detestable to Tucker. Is this anti-Semitic, yes or no? I say yes. Hamas is not a terrorist group. Hamas, rather, is a political movement. So is this anti-Semitic? Yes or no? Is this applying a standard to Israel and the Jews that it doesn't apply to anyone else? I say yes. Sharia law is not really that bad because it creates an orderly society. Jewish influence on the U.S. is far more dangerous than Islamic infiltration. Is this view anti-Semitic? Yes or no?
Every choice we make is a stand for freedom, even your phone service. That's why I switched to Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. You get the same nationwide coverage, great service, and they back causes that honor faith, family, and freedom. Go to patriotmobile.com/Tatum or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Tatum for a free month of service. Make sure you switch today. That's patriotmobile.com/Tatum or call 972-PATRIOT. So you heard that, and that's why I want to bring in Dinesh D'Souza himself because I want to talk to him about this. Dinesh, welcome to the show.
Brandon, it's a real pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Dinesh, I feel like you and I have been literally on the same page on the X posts the last few weeks, and it's been crazy. I cannot believe the gall of some of these people. I cannot believe the stances that even people on our side are taking. What's your thoughts on this? I mean, obviously, Tucker Carlson is losing his mind, interviewing Nick Fuentes, and people are actually giving credence to that stuff. But I want to know your perspective because we just played a video for the audience of you saying that you think that Tucker Carlson is anti-Semitic based on those certain things that he said. So I just want to know your thoughts on this whole thing.
Brandon, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think I might have a theory that you'll find interesting here. Nick Fuentes, I think, is not really a Nazi, not a genuine Nazi, by which I mean, if you asked him to do the things that Hitler did, he won't do them. And his followers don't think he will do them either. What Nick is a Nazi poser. He's a Nazi performance artist. He is embracing this, quote, Team Hitler label for a reason. And what is that reason? What he's saying to his supporters, it's like an inside communication among them. He's like, I want to give the establishment the ultimate FU, the ultimate middle finger. And how do I do that? I take the ultimate taboo, Nazism, and I boldly, brazenly embrace it. So what you have is a generation of young people, frustrated, dislocated. They feel they've lost the American dream. They're angry. They hate politics. They hate themselves. They hate their life. They stay up all night. Their influence on social media has magnified many times their strength because They spend hours and hours and hours and hours bashing you and me and Dana Loesch and a whole bunch of other people. So we think that there's a whole big army of them. But I think what's happening is that people like Candace, Tucker, and others are trying to recruit these people into a kind of right-wing militia to browbeat the rest of us into submission, ultimately to browbeat TPUSA into submission, Heritage into submission, JD Vance into submission. I think they know that they can't get Trump. So they're putting their eyes on post-Trump, and they're trying to twist the Republican Party into something new. So I don't really blame even the young people here. The young people themselves are being used as a pawn, as a battering ram. It's being done by some very clever Pied Pipers who have a power move within the Republican Party. So I'm very eager to get your response to that analysis, because it's a little different than just saying, hey, we're seeing a rising tide of anti-Semitism. Hey, these guys are genuine, like this is like a new Hitler phenomenon of the 21st century. I don't think it is. I think something else is going on.
Dinesh, you make a really interesting point. It's incredibly confusing to me, because I do see your point exactly, because especially the Nick Fuentes guy, he just seemed like he just trolls all day long. He says the most outlandish things. He uses the N-word. He does a lot of salacious stuff. And that's why he's popular, because he's shocking the people. And then it's like a shock, or they call it like a flash in the pan. He gets really, really popular because all of this shocking stuff he's doing, and he's talking crazy, and he's taking all these crazy positions, and then he begin to die out because he don't really have any substance. But I also am confused about Tucker Carlson, because I really used to think that Tucker Carlson was very thoughtful. I thought he was more intelligent than he's coming across lately. He's not very deep about the things that he considered to be his positions. When he said that it's a Christian heresy, I have never seen Tucker Carlson. Now, I don't watch all of his stuff. I have never seen him give a biblical reference to anything that he's saying when it comes to Christian heresy. When he's crying about what Jews are doing and saying that they're killing innocent people in Christian faith, we can never have innocents ever die. But he don't apply that to any other government. He will never say that about Muslims or Islam. He would never say anything about Joseph Stalin, who Nick Fuentes on his show said he beloved. Like, why won't he get crazy and critical when it comes to things like that? So Dinesh, I'm confused, because I don't know if these people are just disingenuous or their true colors are showing. It's a very confusing state to me.
Yes. Tucker, very interestingly, does not defend anything, right? Have you ever heard him? He'll say something like, oh, he'll have a guest who will say, we should have allied with Hitler against Stalin in World War II. Now, have you ever heard him give a reason, like, for example, argue that somehow Stalin was more dangerous to the world than Hitler at the time? No attempt to even explain. Tucker just scratches his head, rubs his chin, very interesting, and then that's it. Tucker's defense of Maduro. I mean, you're talking about a socialist left. Even the Democrats won't defend Venezuela. You've got a narco-terrorist socialist left. And right at the time when really Qatar is putting a lot of lobbying money, this was in the New York Times, to convince Trump not to overthrow the Maduro regime. Right on cue, Tucker is like, here's why Maduro is okay. And guess what? This is Tucker's argument. Maduro may be a socialist, but he's socially conservative. He's socially conservative. You've got an absolute whack job Maduro who's into all kinds of voodoo. He's into Santeria, but somehow for Tucker, he's socially conservative. Have you ever heard Tucker make a real defense of Sharia law? No, he'll say, well, Sharia is pretty good. I mean, I like law and order. What's wrong with law and order? Now, of course, in Sharia, if you leave the Muslim faith, they can put a fatwa on you, and any random guy can come and stab you in the back. So does Tucker have a defense of that? Is he going to explain why that's a really good idea? Or does he like certain parts of Sharia but not others? He won't say. He's never said. He doesn't even attempt to say. So quite clearly what we're dealing with here is the insinuation of these poisonous ideas. And while you and I can debate the motivation, we can see the effect, right? This is actually fracturing the MAGA coalition. It has completely taken attention away from Trump and Trump's agenda. It has potentially long-term effects of chasing away Jews and blacks and Latinos from the Republican Party. So this is not something that can be just dismissed. Whatever the motivations, the effects are very malevolent.
That is, Tucker, when you say those things, and I just don't know what is it financial motive. I just don't get it, man. He will not, like you said, he's talking about Maduro, and there is no scenario whatsoever of a person who is in socialism that produces, or a person that believes in socialism to have a social economic system, or to the extent that they do, that pushes communism and all of this stuff, that they have an effective country. When he talks about Sharia law, he mentions like Abu Dhabi and some of these other places that are doing okay. I mean, a lot of people don't want to live there, obviously, but then he goes off and don't talk about what Sharia law's effects are in other countries, that people are getting killed every day. Women are oppressed. I don't understand how this is the thing, Dinesh, with all that we've said, I don't understand how people don't see it, because it seems as if he still has a lot of fans that love him and they support him and they're like, I stand with Tucker. And it's like, are you listening to the old Tucker, or are you listening to the stuff he's been doing? I mean, that the Jews, he had a guy on his show that said the Jews have created AI to destroy the world. He had another one that insinuated that the Jews had something to do with COVID-19 because the Ashkenazi Jews had a lesser effect from the virus than other Jewish people. He don't push back at all. What is your thoughts?
Well,
why can't people see it?
It's because ultimately, I think the young people who are rallying to Tucker are not, in fact, considering the merits of any of these positions. In fact, I think what's going on is, in some ways, when a Ben Shapiro, for example, comes out and says, hey, listen, Tucker is misunderstanding the place of Israel, the value of Israel, what Israel provides to America in the form of intelligence, and so on. It's in a way, it plays into Tucker's hands, because Tucker's whole shtick is all you people are Israel first, and I am America first. So Tucker wants to own this America first label, and most people, these young people, don't care what content is under that label. It's almost like the positioning here is critical. And so I think this is why people like you and me are very dangerous to Tucker, because first of all, we're not Jewish. And so he can't stick us with the Jewish label. You and I have been America first from the beginning. Everything I've done, all my earlier movies, people will say, well, Dinesh, why are you so obsessed with Israel? I'm like, in 30 years, I've actually never discussed Israel until now. This is the first time I'm doing a film on it, first time I'm talking about the subject. So in that sense, Tucker would like it to be that he's got him and he's got Bannon and a few other guys on his side, and he wants to have all Jews on the other side, because he will make it then seem like they don't care about America. They've got some other foreign agenda, and he, Tucker, is bravely standing up for the ordinary, neglected, forgotten man and woman in this country.
Yeah, it's so sad that he's doing that, because that's further from the truth. We're America first by far, and America first is America interest first, and supporting Israel is in America's best interest. And, partnering with Israel and then being our ally is in America's best interest. And I hate that they conflate a few things, because AIPAC, I'd never heard of AIPAC before, because I wasn't into the lobby stuff until like recently, and when people accused me of getting money from AIPAC. And then I looked into it and I said, well, if you want to have a discussion of the power of the Israeli lobby, then you also should want to have a discussion of the power of the Qatarian lobby and all the other lobbies that's going on, the Chinese lobby, the Japanese lobby, you name it, Saudi Arabia's lobby. If you want to have a conversation about lobbying, foreign governments lobbying in America, let's have a conversation with the truth being in place, as AIPAC isn't a foreign government. That's another thing that I thought that AIPAC was a foreign, it must have been a foreign thing, and they just got some unique exceptions. It's like, no, American citizens are choosing how they want to lobby, and that's totally fine. And if it was foreign influence, then they should be registered as FARA. But the thing is, Dinesh, even if they were registered as FARA, they still wouldn't be top 5 for lobby groups that have put money into the American government.
I mean, Brandon, in some ways, look, on the one hand, they will say about Israel, Israel is so dependent on America that if the United States were to cut off $3.8 billion of aid, Israel would collapse. Their society is absolutely dependent on America. So they say that on the one hand. On the other hand, they go, Israel owns America. Israel is buying off every politician, every congressman, well, which is it? Either Israel has the infinite resources to buy off a country that is, 30 times its own size with a vastly bigger GNP and vastly greater military power. So I don't think in the end it is about consistency. What's really happened is this. I think it's a marketing thing in this respect. You've got a lot of young people who I think rightly believe that there are elites who have other priorities, who have put them, these young people, at the bottom of their list. And so there's a lot of anger directed at the uniparty against these elites. And what's happening is like guys like Tucker and Fuentes come in and they say to these young people, guess what? We have all these elites. We have all these deep state embedded in the government, all these shady players. But there is one master elite controlling the elite of the elites, and that's the Jews. So this is why a lot of young people go for it, because there's a lot of truth. I mean, I made a movie, Police State, about these embedded forces in the government that deploy the weaponry of the government against citizens. So there's some truth in what these young people believe, but what is being added is a new element, a nefarious element that is untrue, but which is falling on receptive ears. And that's why I think these young people in the end are being manipulated.
Dinesh, I'm gonna have to bring you back to talk about this more. I know we're short on time. You did put out a documentary, and I didn't get a chance to see it in full, but just the preview of it when we talked about it last time was just tremendous. And you told me how you got firsthand body camera essentially from the perspective of Hamas, which a lot of people have never seen before. So can you just tell us real quick, how do people find the movie, watch the movie, and also how can they follow you on social media?
Follow me on social media on X at Dinesh D'Souza. I do a daily podcast, the Dinesh D'Souza podcast. The film is called The Dragon's Prophecy. It's about all the stuff that you and I, Brandon, have been just talking about. It is both timely but also timeless. The website is The Dragons, plural, The Dragons Prophecyfilm.com. It's streaming. You can also order the DVD. So in some ways, what I like about the film is it takes the issues and events happening in front of our eyes, but it also connects them to ancient events in the Bible, looking back, and biblical archaeology. But it also looks forward at a hint of things to come. What does the Bible foretell? So a hint of biblical prophecy. You would actually be blown away by the film. Find some time to check it out, Brandon, and I hope your audience will check it out as well.
I will definitely do that. My next flight, I'm putting it on and I'm watching the whole thing. Dinesh D'Souza, God bless you, and thank you so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dinesh D'Souza, y'all go check him out. One of my favorites. I mean, he's been a legend forever, and I'm actually glad to see some of the people that I admire that are legends that are on the right side, in my opinion, on the right side of this topic, the biblical side of the topic, the common sense side of the topic, the never changing, conviction side of the topic. I mean, these other people are just flip-flopping, like they change their ideas like they change their underwear. It's like, dude, what do you believe in next? You just into something else. Sharia law is terrible. The Muslim Brotherhood is terrible. Islam is the biggest threat to America. These transgender nut jobs that are indoctrinated and got all these hormones and they're mentally ill. They are the ones that are out here trying to kill conservatives. But yet they looking at the Jew somewhere. You should be ashamed of yourself because you know better than that. Y'all got to find a Jew somewhere minding their own business with a yarmulke on, thinking that that's the enemy of America. Show me a Jew that's done a terrorist attack in America. Show me a Jew that line their own people up and they shoot them in the middle of the street like Hamas. Show me a people that start a war and then they go in the tunnels, the terrorists, and then the people got to sit outside of the tunnels. In Israel, the people go in the tunnel and the IDF are sitting outside the tunnel.